What up, y'all? Yeah, gotta keep it quiet. I'm sorry, the kids are asleep.
Welcome
To the J&O Show.
we talk about
A father is caught on camera kicking his daughter out for not obeying his rules, being ungrateful, and having all types of attitude. It was a lot in this one. It was a lot of layers to peel back. It was a lot of things to talk about. This is a long video. I hope y'all enjoy it.
Yeah. Roll clip.
I'm not gonna keep doing the same thing in my house. You have to get out my house. I'm sorry, I don't know where you gonna go, but you can call your mama and ask her, can you come back
You already
down?
know she don't want me with her, so why would you even?
I don't care. You keep doing the same thing.
It's already started.
Just say it.
Now, how old is she? How old is she supposed to be?
I don't know. She don't look but so old.
She's very young.
Yeah,
this thing
she's a
got
teenager.
3.4 million views. Now my daughter is 12. I love my daughter dearly. I love my son too. He's 10. She don't look like she too much older than my daughter. They probably the same size. That little snapback. As the disciplinarian in the house. Nah, bruh. Nope. Now, see, my parents was older. Mama and my daddy, they was born in the 40s. Wow. Let y'all give y'all some perspective. They waited a while to have me. I was born in 1997. Bruh. So I got older parents, and I never did that in my life. Nope. When I was in my 20s, I didn't do that. Nope. Biggest issue is she was like, call my mama, you know that she don't want me back there. Is that what she said?
Yep. Something to that effect.
You know she don't want me back there? That's the first issue. We got these broken homes. Yep. The reason he's having an issue is even though he's obviously in the daughter's life, and I appreciate the fact that she's there with him. I love to see that. Yep. But the damage from the broken homes causes all of this mess. And we don't want to see that, but
ain't no checks and balances.
it's gonna keep on being put in our face until we get a clue.
And ask her, can you come back
You already
down?
know she don't want me with her, so why would you even?
I don't care. You keep doing the same thing. You keep doing the same thing. I send you to school. You ditch your school. You steady calling these little boys. I told
I
you.
don't even talk to nobody.
Look, I told you to stay away from these little boys. We're not gonna keep doing this. We not.
He holding back so much.
Yeah, I know.
The way you can tell the way he talking, he like, you little, he is not a small dude.
No, he not.
I don't know how tall he is, but he's not small. And by the way she talking to him, this happens. I'm not gonna say often, but this happens. And it definitely happened at mama's house. That's why she don't want her back at her house. You gotta catch them young, y'all.
Yeah.
You gotta get them young. Whatever this.
You got to do that groundwork when they're young.
And the bad thing is, even if you catch them young and you're a very disciplined house, if there's a broken home, there's still gonna be a lot of pushback because the home is broken and the kids are gonna feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
And you know, the weird thing is, even though that is so prevalent in our community and so many of the kids have it in common, there still seems to be a lot of shared behavioral issues, even if the dad is involved, but they're separate. Like it's gotten to the point now that that's normal.
Well, I mean, it's different when dad is involved versus dad is there.
Right.
Like you living basically with father and mother 24/7, as opposed to you seeing dad on the weekends or
True.
even if it's every other day. There's a difference because you are already having certain behaviors ingrained in you most of the week. And you go to school and you pick up Lord knows what from the people that you're around. And then you start acting out and doing certain things at home. If he's not there to see it and to check you, as soon as he sees the behavior, you have this behavior in you. And then when he sees you on the weekend, it's just like, he may or may not deal with it. He may overlook it because it's just like, okay, well, this is my baby. I ain't seen her all week. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So certain things may fall through the cracks. But when you have to deal with it day in, day out, and you're seeing it and you see the behavior subtly starting to change, like, it's an easier way for you to be able to course correct, you know, when you're seeing that. But if you're not there consistently on a day-to-day basis, living there, seeing all of the different things, all of the things, you're there in the morning when they wake up, you know, to get ready to go to school. You're there in the afternoon when they come home from school. You're there at night when they go to bed. You see all the things that happen in between, who they talking to on the phone, what they doing when they supposed to be doing their homework or what they do when they first get up. There's a difference when you're there all the time versus some of the time.
I'm not going over this no more with you. You have to get your stuff and get out my house.
Right.
Yes, you have to figure it out. You got to figure it out I'm tired. I'm tired. Call your mama right now. Call your mom. See, that's your problem. That's your problem right now. Your attitude. You're only 14 years old. Call your mama. Yeah. Call your mama right now. You gotta get.
Our daughter would never. That's 2 years older than our daughter.
Now, see, we on YouTube, and you can't say certain things, you know. But I will say this. The Bible say, spare the rod, spoil the child.
I know people be trying to say,
that's not what it means. It's the rod of instruction and correction. It ain't got nothing to do with.
You finish your point. I'm going to look up the other verse. Oh, boy. You can finish your point in the meantime.
Yeah, it's a reason why the Bible say that when you spare the rod, you spoil the child. See, God is love. Yes, he loves us. But he also will whoop your tail. Okay? There's a time and a place for everything. It says the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. Basically saying, like, with your parents, you do have to have a healthy fear of them at first. I think when you're younger, because you don't understand certain things, like when children are young, you can't negotiate with them. You can't sit down and explain something to a 2-year-old. You can't tell, no, sweetheart, you can't touch the stove because it's going to burn you and you'll end up having to go to the hospital in 3rd degree. Don't touch that stove. No. You can't sit down and explain things to someone who cannot comprehend because their brain has not developed to a point for them to be able to understand certain things. They don't have deductive reasoning. All they know is, if I touch this, I'm gonna get my hand popped or something like that. And I know that doesn't feel good and I don't want that feeling. So there's a reason why the Bible says to spare the rod and spoil the child, because if you don't, and you allow the child to go and do what they want to do, then they're going to end up burning themselves or really hurting themselves or burning down the house or something like that. And then what? Because you didn't want to discipline them. Like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. Prayerfully and hopefully, if you do the work when they're younger, when they get to this age, they'll know better than to cross you. The fact that she just said, don't touch me, like,
what?
You and that's your father.
It was the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. I don't know what version
wisdom
that is.
Or knowledge.
No, it could have been knowledge depending on what version you read it. So there's that. And that's Proverbs 9-10. And we just going to do a Bible corner right quick. So as far as the discipline of your children, for those of you who are Christianified, and y'all be like,
that ain't what it means.
So here's another verse. Okay, this one was funny to me. Proverbs 13:24. I'm going to do this one. It said, whoever spares the rod hates their children. But the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. Proverbs 29:15. The rod and reproof gives wisdom, but a child who gets his own way brings shame to his mother. For those of y'all like,
what the rod mean? That ain't what.
Proverbs 23:13-14. Do not hold back discipline from the child. Although you strike him with the rod, he will not die. You shall strike him with the rod. It ain't too many ways that you can flip strike, y'all. I know some of y'all really want to turn strike into another word, but it say strike. You shall strike him with the rod and rescue his soul from Sheol.
Yeah, you ain't gonna kill him. Ain't nobody saying that.
The kid. That's what the Bible say. I'm just reading y'all Bible verses. I'm not giving y'all my opinion on this. I'm just reading Bible verses, because if it was me, I would just give my kids lollipops and give them honey and candy and stuff, and everything would be okay. But that's just not the way it works. I'm just giving y'all thousands of years of collected wisdom that people, for some strange reason, are still following today in the numbers of millions, if not billions at this point. And that's alive on the earth now.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about all of the people that have died over the last thousands of years. All of these people have followed it, no matter how wise, how smart they are. Some of the greatest minds in the world still struggle with the question about what the Bible is and isn't. They say it has infinite wisdom. But I'll hear people who ain't got no doctorate. And you'll be like, the Bible is stupid. But yet there are people with doctorates who sit up there who speak Latin. They speaking in Greek and they speaking in all of these things. And they're like, the Bible is so wise. And then you sitting up there with your funky, crusty self talking about the Bible is stupid. No, it ain't the Bible that's stupid.
Too much? I went too far.
It's not. Okay, now we're going to get back to the other side. For the rest of us who ain't all Bible-ified, because, I was out of it for a long time, so I understand. I want to tell y'all something. Sometimes you just got to look around. And a lot of times when you're looking around, when you're dealing with kids, you can tell which kids ain't been in a long time. Because them jokers is wildin'.
Yes.
And then when they parent come down,
Oh, come on, little Timmy.
they don't call them the
Little foot quiet. Okay, look. It's all right. Mommy's gonna go, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure.
shut up, mommy.
Someone has a little attitude today. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna take your iPad. Give me your iPad.
He be like,
What?
Okay. Wait till we get home then. I'm gonna take your iPad.
ma'am, I remember it was one time
Oh, boy.
the boy tried me in public because he thought he could get away with it.
Not the best idea.
I did not, Dave Chappelle. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Have y'all ever seen when an adult dog grabbed that little, the scruff of their neck?
Oh, yeah.
Like so?
Yeah.
So I did it to the front though, right? I'm sorry, in the mic. I just grabbed him. I said, little boy, I said, you should have seen the little light-skinned lady. Like, oh my, I can't believe it. I will knock you out in front of everybody. Try that again, see what happens. And I gave him that face. Try that again, see what happens. I wish you would. I only had to do it once. Yep. I didn't have to lay a hand. Well, technically that was a hand. Yeah. I yoked him up, but I didn't have to hit him. I just had to let them know, look, I'm going to do this in front of people so they know that I don't care what they think. You're not going to be wilding out here, especially as a man in today's society, bro. You got to learn to control yourself.
Yep.
I mean, he wasn't but, 1.5 years old when this happened. So just...
Really?
I can't remember how old he was.
He wasn't that young. He might have been like about...
We were in Greensboro, so he couldn't have been over a certain age.
Yeah, so he wasn't more than 5. He was between 3 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he tried to pull a temper tantrum because he couldn't get what he wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all just gotta watch. Now, I'm not gonna encourage everybody, because some of y'all will get actual rods. Look. Pipe down now.
Calm down.
Y'all ain't got to go all the way left with it. Yeah, come on now. You're bigger than them already. You don't need no weapon.
You ain't got to do all that.
You don't even need a weapon. You bigger than them. Goodness. By the time they get to the point where they are about the same size, this should be a thing of the past.
Yes.
A little on the pamper with the 2 fingers. That might be all you need in the beginning. To be honest, the real thing is you need to scare.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about, being physical. It's about learning to scare. And
the fear of God in them.
Yes, I don't know a lot of people be like, I don't want my kids to fear me and stuff. Well, let them run over you then. The Bible says a lot about fearing God. And y'all be like,
No, it actually means respect.
no. You don't tremble in respect.
Nope.
And some of them verses said tremble. These are things we knew. How did we forget? We smarter, but we dumber. We knew this
We
stuff.
smarter, dumber.
When I was coming up, this was all common knowledge.
Yeah. Call your mama right now. You got to get out my house. I'm done. You too grown. You're only 14 years old. You steady doing
That's
the
the
same
problem.
thing.
How you
I found weed in your room.
That wasn't even mine.
Who weed was it?
You know my friend was over here last time.
That's your problem. You hanging out with these little fast ass little girls.
I told her not to bring it in here.
No, you steady lying. That's your problem. You need to stop lying and go to school. All I asked you to do was go to school. I buy you everything you want. And you steady crying for what? All you got to do is do the right thing. But pack your stuff and get out of my house. You can leave now.
Who was recording this?
That's what I want to know.
He had a phone, right? It's a
Yeah,
phone in his
yeah.
hand. So who's recording
I
this?
don't know. Somebody sitting over there watching. They just sitting there like,
who's he doing this in front of? Like, what in the world?
My goodness, what is going on?
maybe his new girl or...
I would have a hard time kicking my daughter out, but that's because I'm thinking my daughter in the sense of who she is right now and how she acts.
Yeah.
It would be hard pressed for me to do that. But if I had some little girl that was acting and talking back and stuff like that, I don't
Acting
know.
like they grown.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If she doing like too much at that age, I might have my cousin over here, because my cousin she always down for the dirty work. Because I don't know if I would be okay kicking her out.
Nope.
I've heard Anton say you have to have your children fail in a controlled environment. 2 years from now, I'm thinking of my daughter 2 years from now, I don't know if I want to release her into the world and let them deal with her.
Yikes.
But he said to go to your mama house.
Maybe you could just do therapy. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that'll work. I would try other things before we got to me calling a family member to come over. I'm gonna be honest. I would try other things. We can do the therapy and all these other things, but it could just be rebellion because of the situation she's growing up in.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I think sucks.
Messy.
It is.
And unhealthy in so many different ways.
It is.
One of the things that I'm just going to mention real quick, because I know this video is probably going to be long, but one of the things I was just going to say is that we see stuff like this, and I don't know that people really sit and think about repercussions, like the long-term effect, because this right here could be generational.
True.
That is also true, yes.
That's true.
What she's going through right now, how is she going to be able to recover from this as an adult and be able to be in a committed relationship, be married, and know how to be able to deal with her kids?
Ooh.
That part.
Or the man that she's with, if she's with a man.
Oh, boy.
Considering what's happening with her and her father right now. Ooh, good catch.
Y'all, like, we say this all the time. Like, some people may or may not agree with what we say, and that's all right. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion and they feel how you want to feel. One of my YouTubers, people that I used to watch back in the day, I haven't watched in a little while, but Life Coach Sean, hey girl, she always used to say, I forgot it was her mom or somebody used to say, an opinion is like a belly button. Everyone has one. You know, so everybody's going to have their own opinion, but we have to get to the point where we're thinking long term as far as like our community, our people. We said this before, we are doing this for our community, for our people, our melanated people, not meaning that anybody else can't, of course, watch or get this information and use it, because everybody got issues. But the reason why we're doing it specifically for our people is because our people are suffering the worst when it comes to the family dynamic.
Yes.
We're the ones that have 70% broken homes.
Dang.
Okay. And so that's why we're speaking specifically to our people. Nobody is going to come to help us. We have to help ourselves.
Yep.
So when you see stuff like this happening amongst your peers, amongst your family members, amongst your friends, you have to sit these people down, and we need to talk about this. We need to have a conversation, because the way in which you are doing things, the way in which things are going, is not conducive. And we're going to continue to perpetuate this type of behavior if we don't actually stand up and speak out. Open rebuke is better than
secret love.
Secret love.
That's the Bible. By the way, y'all.
If you love and you care for somebody, you got to be able to call them out when you see them doing something wrong that you know is going to, if not directly affect them, affect the people around them. Probably more often than not, it will affect them in some way, shape, or form. Like, you have to be okay with telling them, like, yo, this is not okay, and showing them why it's not okay in a plethora of areas, why it's not okay. We got to do better, y'all. I want to see us do better, because we can do better. And when we do better, we thrive. I was going to say something else, but I don't want to go off on a tangent. So I'm just going to keep it right there. But hopefully y'all understand what I'm trying to say. And hopefully you understand that we do this because we are really trying to help. But we are really trying to help build back the family, one person at a time, one relationship at a time. People understanding, looking at themselves, looking in the mirror and be like, you know what, you messing up. And like really hold yourselves accountable so that you can do better and be better. So that way stuff like this don't continue to happen.
That was a tough one, because it wasn't cut and dry. That was tough. Like I still don't know what I would do with my daughter. Like, this is wow. So I don't know. Get some help, man. That's all I can say.
Yes. If y'all made it this far, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, turn your post notifications, and give us a thumbs up so that way you can tell YouTube that you appreciate what we're putting down.
What we're putting down. That's the mic.
Hey, everybody. Down in the description, there are 2 links.
One is to a GoFundMe, and the other one is to a video that explains what the GoFundMe is for. Long story short, we have a medical situation with our daughter that we have to pay for everything out of pocket, and we could really use you guys' help. If you have the time, we'd love for you to go check it out. If you have the money, the funds, we'd love for you guys to help. If not, maybe you could send a link to somebody else who can help. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Press the off button.